Warning, the Stone Age Gamer includes a lot of bad language. Cover your mother ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer Podcast. I am Chris Randazzo and joining me tonight is Project Katana, Dan Ryan.
I was really wondering, I haven't opened the script yet, I was really wondering what game I was going to be this week, and I don't think I could be any more honored than I am right now.
I mean, I feel like there's a better Dreamcast thing I could have come up with, but that was the one that popped in my head first, Project Katana.
That hits.
Yeah. Hey, it's the return of the Stone Age Starter Kit, and we've got a $100 limit to start a physical Dreamcast collection. How many copies of Toy Commander will that buy? Plug in your VMUs, because the Stone Age Gamer Podcast starts now.
God damn it, how is it possible that we have not done this episode? I have had this
because
conversation.
We've been doing this in order. We did Sega CD, the PlayStation, Sega CD 32X, the PlayStation, N64, Dreamcast is next, yeah.
When I sent that message today, I must have had this conversation with Tiff. I have legitimately, like, we were talking and I was like, babe, we're doing fucking Dreamcast today. And she was like, we totally did that already. And I was like, I know, right? Like, we fucking did it.
Oh, maybe you did. Are you cheating on me with another podcast?
I could be. Oh, son of a bitch. Scandal. Tune in next week.
Oh, the Rock Age Gamer Podcast. Son of a bitch. Hi, everyone. This is episode 428. It is the week of September 16th, 2022. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, man.
Ah, dude, it's just Tiff and I were talking about it yesterday too, like, because it's so fucking, like, it's super weird, right? So the Queen died the day before we recorded this, right? So she died Thursday, the 8th. Okay. I wasn't sure I didn't know how long we were talking pre-show. I thought it might be Saturday, but she died on the 8th, and we were kind of talking about, like, as fucking problematic as British colonial rule has been and will continue to be, for still affecting decades, if not forever. It really does feel like the passing of a simpler time almost. It feels like, and maybe simpler time is the wrong way to put it, but it feels like the last vestiges of a bygone era, you know? Maybe we're crazy. Or maybe you haven't thought about it that much.
I put I could not conceivably care less about the Queen. What happened
neither could I.
With me and the Queen that affected me the most was, let me see if I can find it. There it is. Guillaume Veillette. He is a podcaster. He's on the Nintendo World Report podcast. He's a super cool guy, and he happens to follow me on Twitter, which is one of those things that just kind of really makes my day. But he wrote, "At any rate, despite today's news, we must keep going forward, as opposed to the Queen, who could choose to move in any direction."
That is excellent.
And that was it for me. That's some top tier comedy as far as I'm concerned. So thank you for the laugh, Guillaume.
The best one that I have seen was Reggie Jackson, and he tweeted out, "Finally proof that I didn't do it. Rest in peace, the Queen." Which is
God,
Naked Gun reference.
I saw that. I didn't get it until you said it right now.
So
my God, that's
funny.
Amazing.
That and like
kill the Queen. Oh my God, that is hysterical.
It's such a fucking Reggie Jackson thing to tweet out, like, to totally make it about him. I was like, dude, that's a fucking crazy tweet. Like, she's not even cold. She's so warm, dude. Like, that's fucking harsh. That's awesome. Love it. I don't know. It just like it just feels like it's just weird, you know? Back when I don't know. It's fucking strange. from a historical perspective, like British colonial rule, like divine right of kings and like Church of England, it's all very fucking stupid. Like, it's dumb. I couldn't give a shit less about the royals. They were like, oh, they're having a baby. I said, are they? I don't fucking care. People have babies all the time. There's a person having a baby right this second, and right that second, and now this second. I don't fucking care. Fuck those babies. Whatever. But it's just, I don't know. It just feels like a strange marker of like all of the ones that I suppose like we grew up with, you know, like fucking Yeltsin is gone, I think. I don't know. I'm still a big Yeltsin guy. Gorbachev is gone, I think. Mm-hmm. We talked about it. Now the Queen. Jimmy Carter's still out there fucking building houses. That dude fucking rules.
Yeah, he does.
But, you know, I don't know. It's just, it's strange. Whatever. Fucker. Not British.
So, like, shit. A few hours ago, not to, you know, turn too hard off of that, a few hours ago, there was a D23 video games showcase.
It was horrendous, in my opinion.
I didn't watch it, but some of the stuff that was announced is pretty interesting. So I'm going to seek out those things. The
stuff was cool.
Yeah.
The stuff was cool. The presentation. I'm not going to watch
the presentation, no.
Oh my God. Like, I don't know what it was about this dude that just, the phony enthusiasm, scripted, corporate, like, that was dope. Right? Kids, like, it just felt fucking awful. I hated it. I hated it. I fast forwarded every time he was on the screen and through the Aliens games because I have fucking been burned by Aliens video games way too many times to even get my hopes up a smidgen.
They show Aliens games? Oh yeah, Aliens Dark Descent.
Yeah.
Avatar Reckoning, whatever. Lego Star
and
Wars.
Avatar. Right past that. Couldn't have given less of a shit.
Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga's getting some DLC, Marvel Strike Force, the mobile game, Speedstorm mobile game, Mirrorverse as a mobile game. Disney Dreamlight Valley is another mobile game. Let's see, launching this year.
No, that's the fucking console thing that they just launched, like the Sims Life.
Oh, that's on consoles? Oh,
yeah. It's on Game Pass this month.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody's I haven't seen any reviews or anything. If anybody's it's definitely not for me. But it does seem like kind of a cool, interesting little idea if you're into that sort of game.
I tell you what makes me extremely happy is that fucking Monkey Island was in this presentation. With all this big Marvel stuff and everything, Return to Monkey Island got a mention in this thing. That is awesome.
Well it should.
I'm so stoked for that game, and I got the review for it. I'm going to get a review code.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think I might even get it a little early. I'm so excited.
That's fucking great, dude. That's so cool.
I landed that in Blossom Tales 2. I got the
nice.
I already got the code for Blossom Tales 2. I'm I'm like an hour and a half in, and it's everything the first game did well, just doing more of it and better. I'm so pleased with it so far, and I'm still at the very, very beginning, but like the whole aspect of the game where it's being told like a grandfather telling the story to his kids, so like the kids keep chiming in during the story and changing things. They leaned into that more, which is so brilliant. And
that's really cool.
You know, like I just got to this part in the woods where these 3 frogs showed up, and then the one girl is just like, nah, I like what is that? I like bowls better or whatever. And then they immediately change into bowls. The boy times are like, no, I like the frogs better. And they change back to frogs, and they argue back and forth. And then you get to choose as the grandfather what actually attacked you. Was it frogs or the whatever beasts? And then whatever you choose, that's what you actually get to fight. And it's wonderful so far. But
will it impact the gameplay if you pick something different? Like, are there somewhat branching stories, or like it doesn't matter?
I don't know that it affects the story, but it affects what you're doing. Like,
well, sure.
In the beginning, like you had to choose if you were fighting like a big guy with a rock or a big guy or somebody who was jousting, and like that's just a totally different boss fight.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going rock. Fuck jousting.
See, I went with the jousting dude because I had a shield. I was like, nah, I can beat this guy, and then I did. I kicked his ass. But that's
fuck him. I had a shield.
But like, I don't know that I'm not far enough in it that it's going to do anything that affects the story. If I remember the first game right, nothing truly affected the story. It just affected how you got to the next part in the story, like what you had to fight, how you got from point A to point B, that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
It is. It's really awesome. I freaking love it. But
the one thing that they showed today that I was really, really excited about, like really, really excited about, was the Captain America Black Panther game that doesn't have a title or anything at all yet. But it is being made by the company. It was like Skydance.
Yeah, Skydance New Media. What was it?
That Amy Hennig
name? Amy Hennig. Her company that did Uncharted.
Who directed Uncharted, and I think Uncharted 2. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she did 3. But she was the director behind at least the first 2 Uncharted games. She left, started her own company, and her company is making a Black Panther Captain America game that seems to be set like
in World War II.
Like, fuck yes, dude. 100%.
That sounds very interesting to me, but that wasn't the one that actually lit me on fire.
Really?
It was the Disney Illusion Land.
That looked really cool.
That is so directly up my alley, and if it is something that I can actually legitimately play with me, Karen, Ellie, and John, if it's something that Ellie can play, then sign me the hell up, because I love those new Mickey cartoons. I love those.
I know. I think I like convinced you to watch them, if I remember this correctly.
Yeah, I think you did.
Mentioned how fucking batshit crazy they were.
They are.
And awesome.
And the kids liked them too. And a game, a new 2D platformer based in that universe, as long as it's good, then
it looks cool.
It has a lot of potential. I'm also very happy that there's a new Tron game coming out.
It doesn't even matter what it is. Sign me up.
I don't know anything about BitHell Games or Bithell Games. I assume BitHell.
Don't care. Yeah.
I don't know anything about them. It's PC and console.
It's Tron. I'm excited.
It's a visual novel adventure, so that's really interesting to me. I'm game. I'm happy to try it. And they're remastering the Genesis Gargoyles game for some reason.
That wasn't out. That's really cool.
It is really cool.
Weren't we just talking about that like 2 weeks ago?
I think so, but they're not. Digital Eclipse isn't doing it. It's Empty Clip Studios. I've never heard of them before, but
maybe that's like a Konami Ultra game situation. Empty Clips, Digital Eclipse. I don't know.
Oh, Eclip.
Maybe.
Wow.
Fucking sneaky bitches.
That would be amazing.
Wouldn't it though? That'd be great.
And the S for studio, Eclipse. Oh my god.
They don't even have to do it. They just decided to because it's cheeky and fun. Like, right? I like that. It's the kind of shit I would do. Like, there were a lot of really cool announcements. I'm excited for the Jedi Fallen Order sequel. Like, I finally finished that a couple weeks ago, and I know you had finished it. And
it was fine.
That was a cool game. It was cool, and I'm really excited to play the modern console game, right? Because instead of like the patched up, like, and we're upscaling it, and here's the PS5 patch and like, no, just give me the PS5 one. Like, that's the one I want to play now. You know, like I'm so over the PS4. It's so old. Why are we talking about old shit? You know, like I'm just excited for like that game. It looked fucking cool. Whatever this new Spider-Man game ends up being, Spider-Man 2, like, I'm so fucking excited and into that. They didn't show jack about Wolverine. Doesn't matter. Still excited about that. The fucking Rise of the Midnight Suns, like, man, I don't know. I'm definitely not going to buy it when it launches, because that type of game has the capacity to be amazing and also has the capacity to fucking suck real bad. And I love that storyline, and I love the Midnight Suns mythology and Lilith and the children of Lilith and all that shit so much that it'd be really sad if I pay full price and it's terrible. You know. But no, there was a lot of really cool stuff announced. Just a terrible presentation.
Be a Lion
Chris.
King prequel? Like, I'm looking at all the movie and stuff announcements now, and like, for fuck's sake, like,
sure, I didn't see any of them. Lay them on me. I didn't see any of it.
The Simpsons season 33 release date for Disney Plus. Who cares? National Treasure: Edge of History.
Fuck yes.
Two episode premiere December 14th on Disney Plus. Okay.
Yep. I'm in. Give me more National fucking Treasure. That shit was great.
There's a live action movie, Peter Pan and Wendy, coming on Disney Plus. Okay.
I could be super into that. Some of the live action stuff has been great. Some of it has been Beauty and the Beast or Aladdin.
I have very much disliked Aladdin, Lion King. Didn't see Beauty and the Beast. Didn't really want to. I want them to stop with the live action remakes of old movies. This is an original thing. This isn't a remake. This is some sort of whatever. That's fine.
I'm really curious to see this Pinocchio thing.
I've heard that is unfathomably awful. Like, I've heard nothing but just the most wretched reviews of like, why is this a thing? Why did you do this? I fucking love
Tom Hanks though.
Just like that Lady and the Tramp one. Like, why did you do that?
Yeah, I guess it's just the Alice in Wonderland ones that I like. And I fucking hate Johnny Depp in those, but I like the rest of it.
And even those were quite a long time ago. Disenchanted has a trailer. That's the sequel to Enchanted. That movie was cute.
Great.
So
it was great.
I'm fine with that existing. Come on, a live action Snow White now. Stop it. Hocus Pocus 2.
Hocus Pocus 2. I
didn't like the first one. I'm not a fan.
It's not for us, Chris. Tiff and the girls and all the girls I work with. Like, I think a bunch of girls that I work with that have never met Tiff have somehow been invited to my house for the premiere of that movie. I think is what is actually, because like there's stuff going back and forth on Facebook and shit, and I'm not a part of any of it, and I don't know how I got axed out of the fucking equation, but everybody else is real excited, so good for you.
Yeah, Karen and I had never seen the original, so last Halloween we watched it, and like both of us were like, what the hell? Like, why? So I don't know. It's not for either of us, but whatever. There's a Lion King prequel movie called Mufasa.
Mufasa.
I don't know if it's Mufasa. I don't know if that's going to be live action or not. I hope it's not going to be live action because that live action Lion King sucked.
Yeah,
the trailer for
there's
Little
a story
Mermaid,
there. I
live
think.
Action.
Oh, the live action Little Mermaid. Yep. I am so fucking excited. This one I'm actually genuinely excited about. Not because I give a shit about the movie, although I do love the Little Mermaid movie.
It's a great movie.
It is fucking great. It's just absolutely wonderful. The girl who's playing the Little Mermaid is black, correct?
Oh yeah, the internet's gonna.
I am so excited to see how the internet melts. Going back to the Queen for 1 second, I saw a tweet. The second best tweet I saw. I forgot to mention it earlier. Some girl tweeted out. It was just some person. I don't think she's anybody like famous or whatever. She tweeted out. She was like, "Oh, so they're giving the job of queen to a man now? When will the wokeness stop?" And I thought that was fucking outstanding. But I'm so excited to watch the fucking neckbeard meltdown on the fucking Black Little Mermaid. Because, you know, mermaids are real and can only be white. God damn it.
Just like the Hobbits. The Hobbits can't be black, right?
They can't be anything else. You fucking nerd. Shut up.
Folks getting in arguments with Neil fucking Gaiman on Twitter about it. Like, do you know who you're arguing with? Like, first off, they're crediting it to him. They're like, how dare you make this? And he's like, I didn't make this, but even if I did, what's wrong with you?
I haven't been in a ton of fights in my life. I haven't. But I would fucking love the chance to punch one of these motherfuckers in the face for being that much of a douchebag. Like, Jesus Christ. The stuff about the fucking the black family in fucking House of the Dragon. It's like, dude.
Oh, I haven't even heard of that one yet.
Oh, yeah, no, the Corleys? Oh, you can't have black people in fucking Westeros? What's wrong with you, Chris? How dare you? They've all been lily white before in this historically accurate drama with dragons.
Historical accuracy. Like, Westeros isn't real.
There's
no historical accuracy.
No, all the black people are in Dorne, though, Chris.
This doesn't even take place on Earth.
Like, no, they're in the fucking free cities. They're
It cannot
across the
take
river.
place on Earth. Winter
It
doesn't
does.
last that long.
It does,
not
Chris.
how the
You don't know.
planet
It was
works.
hundreds of years ago. You weren't there. People wrote it down. It's been passed down through the George R.R. Martin family tree. How fucking dare you?
Oh boy. Pixar's next movie will apparently be What If Elements Have Had Feelings. So,
I love it. I'm into it.
Elemental is what it's called.
I'm into it.
Yeah, looks good to me. Let's see. First look at Pixar original series, Win or Lose. Oh, there's an original series.
I'm into that too.
Pixar
Pixar's
announces
great.
new original film Elio. It's about a boy who finds himself transported across the galaxy and mistaken for the intergalactic ambassador for our planet Earth. Sounds fun.
Nice.
Oh no, Inside Out 2.
Yes, of course. Why not? That movie was great.
I don't ever want to watch it again. It hurt.
Oh my god, it hurts so bad.
The movie broke everything inside of me. It was so
It broke
sad.
everything inside of Penny to a point
my
that I
God.
still don't know if she's recovered. We went to the theater. We made it a big thing. We went to one of those fucking AMC dine-in theaters. We were like, we're going to go see the new Pixar movie. It's got Louis Black in it. It looks so fucking fun. And then we walked out of there and Penn was like, sometimes my emotions are different colored Godzillas. And I was like, whoa, God. What is happening?
When the imaginary friend sacrificed himself, that was too much
Bing
for
Bong?
me. It was too much for me.
Oh, man. I know.
That-
And then my Aunt
fucking
Sandy
broke
calls
me.
Oh, she calls the girls Bing and Bong. That's like, before she even saw the movie, like, she used to call them Bing Bong, and then we saw the fucking movie, and then Bing Bong is in there, and I'm like, oh, God, that's so cute. And then he fucking dies, and I was like, oh, no.
Let's see. There's an original animated series called Iwaju coming to Disney Plus. First of its kind collaboration, Disney Animation and Pan-African entertainment company Kugali team up to create an all-new science fiction series. That looks neat.
Awesome.
Another look at Disney's Strange World. Disney announces all-new animated film Wish.
All right.
Okay. Winona Ryder, Dan Levy, and Hassan Minaj join Disney's Haunted Mansion
fuck yeah.
movie. Oh, they're doing another Haunted Mansion movie. They're trying this again?
It's going to be so much better than the first one. Honey, there's dead people in the backyard. Wait, fucking Eddie Murphy says backyard? Have you ever seen that movie?
I have not seen that movie.
Oh my god, there's a fucking part of the movie where he's just, the way he says it, he's, honey, there's dead people in the backyard. It's just so fucking funny. It's not supposed to be. It's not a funny line. He just says it in a way that fucking puts me on my ass every time.
All right, well, that's enough Disney. Have you been playing any games?
Let's see. Tiff and I had played through it with the girls and online a little bit, but Tiff and I, we had some time today because I apparently have already done this Dreamcast show. So I was like, fuck it. We're going to beat the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game on the Cowabunga collection.
Nice. We did that too.
I fucking love it, man. Man, the new game, Shredder's Revenge, is so much better.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh my god,
Wow.
it's so much better.
It's really good. It's
It is such a striking difference.
and you know what
between-
else is really striking?
my
We
God.
beat Turtles in Time the other night, and I'm like, wow, the Super Nintendo version is so much better than this. Like,
Yeah.
I know this has got some extra animations and voice clips and stuff,
But still,
but still, I wish they had found a way to add 4-player support to the Super Nintendo version, because that would have been awesome.
that
But-
would have been really cool. But
Holy crap! Just as the game feels better to play. Like,
it does.
the
It does.
hits have a better, like, they just have more impact, and the
And
more
it's a little bit more fair and balanced.
it even
than the
makes a
quarter
little bit more
munching.
sense. Like, Shredder throws you
Yeah.
into like a portal and the Technodrome, and the arcade version, he just shows up in the fucking sewer. It's like, I'm shooting you through time. Bitch, how?
What? I mean, okay, but what?
Yeah, seriously. What? And the bosses
I'm
are better.
fucking-
Like, the Super
Yeah.
Nintendo one's got way better bosses. It's got Rat King, it's got Slash, it's got Bebop and Rock. Bebop and Rocksteady aren't in the arcade version of Turtles in Time. What the hell is
Wow.
that about?
It's weird.
You fight Pirate Bebop and Rocksteady in the Super Nintendo game, and you fight Token Razor later in the Technodrome.
Yeah,
She was-
it's good
She was
stuff, man.
nuts. Yeah, great stuff.
I'm really, really, really enjoying the Cowabunga collection. Like, really, honestly, truly. I'm not going to comment on the NES game until we do the end of our summer series here. as we review the original Ninja Turtles game. But man, I am really
oh shit! When are we gonna do that?
I don't know. At some point,
we're like we'll do it. We'll do it in October. I'll put it on the list for October.
It's still gonna be fucking hot. It doesn't matter. The planet is boiling and no one cares. It's fine. It's whatever. Florida will be underwater soon. It's cool. But yeah, like I'm just genuinely I'm in a really good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles place right now. We watched the original movie with the girls a couple weeks ago, and they fucking loved it. And they were like, "Oh my god, that Jose Canseco bat in your office makes so much sense now." I was like, "I know, right?" Because Chris and I quote it all the time. A Jose Canseco bat. Tell me, you didn't pay money for this? No, I didn't. My friend Chris did. I didn't pay money for it. And they were like, "Oh my god, that's so much funnier now." I was like, "Yeah, that's the fucking joke, girls. God damn it!" But they were like, "Oh, this movie was amazing." And then tomorrow night we're gonna watch the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, this new one. My cousin, when I was a kid, my cousin Ryan and I had the setup to end all setups of Ninja Turtles toys. Like, we were insane. The way you're still insane, Chris, about Ninja Turtles is how insane we were for Ninja Turtles when we were kids. And his son, Fen, my nephew, is 6 years. Yeah, he just turned 6. And he is as obsessed with the Ninja Turtles as we were when we were kids. And he was like, "Dad, I want to watch this new one." And my cousin Ryan had the same reaction you just had. I don't know. And Ryan, he lives in Utah. We don't talk as often as we should or we used to, because he lives in fucking Utah. It's a weird time difference. He's not a Mormon, but he's a fucking crazy dude. He's like, he moved out there and started a landscaping business. Like, that's a weird life path. After he walked from Mexico to Canada with his girlfriend and then married her in Canada. It's a fucking straight, and he met the girl on the train. I love Erin. She's very, very nice, but it's a fucking weird story. There's a lot to unpack with my cousin. But he called me specifically to tell me how good the Rise of the Ninja Turtles movie was. He was like, "It's different, but it's legitimately good." I was like, "All right, man." Katie's really excited to watch it. We're going to watch it tomorrow. I got an update from Target today that my NECA Usagi Yojimbo should be at my house tomorrow. So I'm going to play with my toy while we watch the movie. I'm very excited about it. The Cowabunga collection is great. Shredder's Revenge is great. The comic book is still going great. Like,
the comic's been great. Then what's the Armageddon game just started?
It's so good. It's that, like, we're at a really legitimately great place for the Ninja Turtles currently. And that makes me very, very happy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll let you know next week. I'll let you know how the movie is. But the game's been fucking great. What else did I just fucking download and mess around with a little bit? They added a bunch of stuff to PS Plus that I was pretty excited about. And I downloaded a bunch of things that have been on there, but I wanted to get to them, like, as I'm also making my way. I'm almost finished with Trek to Yomi. That game's fucking awesome. I really, really love that game. They did an outstanding job. I'll talk more about it, like, once I finish it, which I'm going to try and do. I think this week I'll probably end up finishing it. Katie and I played through a little bit of Balan Wonderworld, or Wonderland, whatever the fuck it's called. That
Wonderworld.
Wonderworld. That fucking crazy Sega game. I like it. I genuinely, honestly do like it. I want to play more of it, to see, like, it's kind of shallow, but it's fun in the way that Sega games used to be fun. Like, it's like Billy Hatcher. Like, do you remember that game?
Yeah.
Billy Hatcher and the Giant Game. It's not a great game by any stretch of the imagination, but it's so fucking weird and different than so many other things that were out. I was like, I genuinely enjoy this. And then I also downloaded Siphon Filter 2. They just put on PS Plus. Oh, fuck, I gotta play that shit. I fucking love Siphon Filter 2. And The Wonderful 101, which I had played on, God, what was it? GameCube? Or was it?
No, that was a Wii U game.
That was Wii U. Fuck, that was Wii U. And I played it a little bit on the Wii U, and I was like, oh, I kind of like this game. But I never, like, I don't remember if I, like, got it on GameFly or just the demo or whatever. But it's on the PlayStation Plus now, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm definitely going to jump into this and play through it. And we just got, Need for Speed Heat is one of the games that they just added. I was like, I could do a racing game right now, I think. So I'm going to jump into that this weekend. It's been all over the place, Chris. All over the place. Nothing focused. The One Piece collab in Puzzle and Dragons in Japan. That shit, I don't fucking know dick about One Piece, but goddamn, these cards are good. They're really fun to play with, too. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to roll all the stones that Japan gives me, because they give a lot. And I did. Got most of the shit I could have wanted.
All right. I like that.
All
I've
over
also
the
been
place.
playing the Cowabunga collection. Really enjoyed spending an evening just looking at all the artwork and stuff in there. All the ads.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I love the strategy guides. I love being able to just pull that up in the middle
strategy
of the game.
guides. That's helping me out with
That's
TMNT1.
awesome.
Like I said, we'll talk about that more when we do the episode. But yeah,
in December when it's still hot.
That's been helping me out in that game. Yeah, so we did arcade game Turtles in Time, and I've been kind of slowly chipping away at the Turtles one, and then I spent a bunch of time with the artwork, and I have finally played the NES Tournament Fighters for a few minutes, and it's like, well, that's an experience I've had. I don't need to do that ever again.
I'm really bad at that game in every version.
Yeah,
I'm not good at it.
I'm also not good at it, but I didn't really pay a lot of attention to it. I played, a round in the Super Nintendo, a round in Genesis, a round of NES. It's like, all right, this is neat. I don't see myself spending any time with it though. I'm here for the adventure games, and I'm looking forward to doing the NES arcade game and Manhattan Project, and just looking forward to spending more time with it over time. But I've been playing Yars Recharged on and off, just a couple of rounds here and there. That game is really freaking good, man. It's a really fun game. I mentioned Blossom Tales 2 already, which unfortunately means that I am stuck on Stray. The last time I played it, I was like kind of lost because it had been almost a week since I'd played it, and by the time I remembered where I was going, I ran out of time to play. So like, damn.
Yeah.
So I really want to get back to it because I want to finish it. I know it's not that long of a game, but I've been sick this week because it was mid 90s on Monday and low 70s on Tuesday, which is normally enough to make me, every time there's a big weather change, I always get sick. I always get some kind of cold. But specifically, it was pouring rain when I dropped off the kids and when I picked them up. So I'm standing outside in the cold where my head and my feet are soaking wet.
Yep.
So, yeah, I got a cold. that happened. So I haven't been doing my Ring Fit and Wii Fit this week, which, has put me off of put me off balance, but I'm going to make sure that I get back on that train come Monday. John and I have continued to play Fall Guys semi-regularly. That game is just freaking great. And I beat Daddish.
Nice.
Daddish was wonderful. Daddish was wonderful. Oh, boy, that game just put a big old smile on my face. It was never... It's like... It's a hard platformer, but it's never Meat Boy hard, but it's not...
Right.
It's harder than some of the hardest shit you'd find in a Mario game, obviously, but it's also not quite Celeste or Meat Boy hard. It's just the right amount of casual. I have to really think about what I have to do to beat this platformer, and
but then I can in fact do it and not just beat my head against the wall for fucking forever.
Yeah, it's pretty executable. Like, God, the ice cream boss was hilarious. Like, you get to the boss, he's like, "Hi, I'm Dad." He's like, "Hi, I'm Ice Cream Cone." It's nice to meet you. "I'm not frozen yogurt." I didn't say anything. "I'll kill you." And then you get new boss fight. It's like, what the fuck was this? Oh, God, that game was wonderful. There's 2 more of them, too. The third one just came out in June, so I'm going to wait till they go on sale because I'm pretty busy right now with the games I'm currently playing, but I really want to play all 3 of these games. I am officially a huge Daddish fan.
Nice.
The biggest video game thing that happened to me though this week was they announced Horizon Chase 2.
That's so exciting.
God, it came out today, but I'm not going to play it on Apple Arcade because I'm going to wait until it comes out on consoles next year, because they announced it is coming to consoles. It's coming to consoles next year. I just have to wait until next year, because I'm not going to do it twice. I don't want to start over again. I haven't even finished all the extra stuff in Horizon Chase Tour. They just released all that giant, massive DLC a few weeks ago.
Which is so cool.
It's so cool. They supported that game all the way up through the sequel. It looks so good. It looks... Oh god, it's just the graphics are just a little tiny bit more detailed than they were in the first one, which is like really all you need to make it look like it's a next gen thing. And like in the trailer, I saw branching paths. It looks like it added all this neat little quality of life things. They said in the press kit announcement that they were paying a lot of attention to what fans who played the game all the way since the first mobile release, the things that they said they wanted to be added to the game. They paid really close attention to that stuff and how to make it just feel like a next evolution of a retro arcade racer without reinventing the wheel, but still making it feel fresh and new. And I am so goddamn on board. And I got an email because I follow Barry Leach on Bandcamp. So I got the email this morning that the soundtrack is available now on his Bandcamp. And I listened to like a few seconds of like 2 of the songs. And I said, no, don't do this to yourself. You're going to have to wait like a whole year to play this game. I said, oh, listen to the music now. Just wait until you can get the game and just go, oh god, the music sounded so good. There were like 2 songs and they sounded so awesome. I'm freaking freaked out. I'm so happy this exists, because they kept releasing DLC for Horizon Chase Turbo. I thought they weren't going to make a 2. I figured like, oh, so this is just going to be their platform. This is just what they're going to do forever. And that's fine, because this game is damn near perfect as is. But wouldn't it be great if there was a real Horizon Chase 2? Wouldn't that be awesome? And it's fucking real. It's out now, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. But I have to.
I mean, I'll let you know next week how it is, because like I am currently downloading it as we speak. Because somehow, after Jimmy Singular signed me up for my first cell phone plan, and now somehow I'm ended up with Verizon, I think I have Apple Arcade free for the next 600 years, or some shit like that, I think is what the deal we got. Not entirely sure how any of this works, or who I have to send money to next month. But whatever. I have Wi-Fi, so...
It's absolutely not expensive. I could totally just buy the game and play it on my Apple TV.
But that's not the way you want to play it.
Exactly. I'm not going to do it twice. And I want to have it on my Switch because, like, that's one of those games that I do play handheld, like, because it's just a race. So I'll play it. That's the kind of thing I'll take upstairs and play a race or 2 in bed before going to sleep. So I absolutely want to have that on the Switch. But, man, waiting is going to suck. But it's okay. There's so much other stuff in the meantime, right? Blossom Tales 2, I got to blow through Monkey Island. I still haven't picked up Splatoon 3, which launched today. I am all for that. I haven't even beaten all of the Octo expansion. I might even jump into that before I spend the money on Splatoon 3. Not that it's ever going to get cheaper, but, you know, whatever. Sure. I'm not in it for the online play. I'm in it to play through the single-player campaign. And, of course, play some of the online campaign, the online stuff. But
yeah, of course.
Salmon Run's available 24/7. I really want to try one of those three-way Splatfest when they come up. Like, I think Splatoon's really cool, and I've definitely got my money's worth out of the first 2, so I can't see it not happening for the third one. But there's just so much else happening right now. There's so much else. I'm still working through. There's so much left for me to do in the Cowabunga collection, Blossom Tales, Monkey Island. Like, there's so much happening right now that I don't even need. I'm not like looking at Splatoon 3 being like, man, I really wish I could buy that right now so I can play it right now because I really need something right now. Like, I don't need something right now. I'm freaking loaded with stuff right now.
I know, it's crazy. Like, we really have been, and we were talking about it a little bit. We weren't talking about it. I don't know if it made it to the show or if it was just in the Discord. I think it made it to the show a couple of weeks ago about, like, not only is there so much good stuff right now, but because we were talking about The Last of Us remastered with the email and, like, that new one coming out. And, like, I'm not buying it again. I'll probably get to it eventually, but, like, there's so much good stuff out right now that's not going to make me fucking sad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to be sad. I might get angry at, like, I'm still fucking mad at the TMNT, you know, swimming through that fucking shit. That still makes me angry. But, like, it doesn't make me sad. You know what I mean? There's so much good stuff happening right now. And, God, the game that they showed off a week or so ago at Gamescom, because we didn't even fucking talk about any of that. But they showed off gameplay for AEW Fight Forever. And there's a lot of drama going on right now in AEW, and a lot of shit that makes me really sad about my current favorite pro wrestling company. Like CM Punk is being a fucking cunt, and they stripped him of the title, and he said some really mean shit to people, and like got into a legitimate fight with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, and they stripped them of the titles. And like there's all this shit going on. But then they showed, like 3 or 4 days before that at Gamescom, they showed off fucking gameplay of Fight Forever, and it's N64 wrestling games. And like the dude who was demoing the game, Evil Uno, who's a wrestler for the company, he's a big fucking gamer, he's a streamer and whatever. He and this other dude, Stu Grayson, used to wrestle as the Super Smash Brothers before they got to AEW and were the Dark Order and whatever. But like they used to wrestle as Evil Uno and Evil Dos. And they were the fucking Uno and Dos, the Super Smash Brothers. Big time nerds. They love that shit. And he even said, he was like, we can't say it by name, but if you've played any of those N64 wrestling games, you will know exactly what to do in this game. And I was like, oh, fucking sweet. Like, this is exactly what I wanted. So like that's coming out, and we're in a really good place right now where you're right. Like, you can wait a year for Horizon. It's all right. You can wait 2 years for Horizon and still not be wanting for anything to play.
It's true.
It's fucking nuts, man. It's so weird. We're in such a good place. And
as far as entertainment is concerned, yes, we're in a very good
that's
place.
what I'm saying. Like, we really are. The rest of the world is on fucking fire. But She-Hulk is great. That show's we just finished Lock and Key season 3 last night that I absolutely liked. I really liked that one a lot. It's pretty different from the comics, but I don't care. I thought the show was wonderful. Cobra Kai dropped today, and we're recording this instead of me watching that. I watched the first episode.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was. I'm not going to fucking say shit.
Don't you dare!
I'm gonna lower your expectations. They fucking killed Johnny in the first episode. Super weird. Miguel was like, fuck you, why'd you come looking for him? And he snaps his neck in front of everybody. It's a very dark take.
Wow.
It's very weird, very different. Still rated only TV 14 though, so like whatever, no blood.
Killed him
definitely
off screen.
snap necks. Fucking yeah, man. It's crazy. Like, did you watch the latest episode of She-Hulk? Episode 4?
Yeah.
Fucking Madison with 2 N's and a Y, but it's not where you think it is. Fucking in Wongers. Why do I not have an announcement of that show?
I want to watch spelled it out, Karen, I was like, that's exactly where I thought it was.
That's 100% where you think it is. Where else could it be? Before the M? God damn it, Madison. I would buy and watch religiously all brand new Sopranos Blu-rays if Madison and Wong did fucking commentary tracks. That would make me, I think, happier than anything in the world. If she just called him Wongers the whole time, I know The Sopranos is a lot of hours, and I don't think it would get old. I fucking loved it. I'm so excited.
The show is definitely bringing me joy. I haven't even sniffed House of the Dragon or Lord of the Rings yet.
Oh no!
Haven't yet. We just haven't had time. We haven't had time.
House of the Dragon is weird because it kind of does a thing that like video game prequels have a hard time with. Of like, I know how this ends. Like, there's literally no drama to what you're doing, like at all. Because I know in 100 and X years time, the fucking White Walkers are going to come down and shit's going to get real. So why do I give a fuck what you're doing right now? But I do. Because Matt Smith still doesn't have eyebrows and it's weird, but I'm into it. That guy's a weird looking dude.
He is. Oh god, and there's the last Doctor Who special.
I can't wait. I can't wait till that is over. I want to care about Doctor Who again. I just don't like Chris Chibnall's Doctor Who. I
No, it
just
has not
don't
been
care
great.
for it. I didn't love the Peter Capaldi stuff at the end. I have not really cared about it since Matt Smith all that much, if I'm being honest. And I want to love it again, because I do love it. You know, anytime I see David Tennant, I'm like, oh, it's my doctor.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
It's good stuff. He's a sexy man in a fucking suit.
All right, well, I think that wraps it up. I think I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know,
let's
Chris.
take ourselves...
These new Freeform Fridays, man, who knows where this shit is going to go.
I really got to go to sleep at some point. Like, I know I don't have to work tomorrow, but like, I do have to sleep. But we have a lot to talk about. We've got some stuff coming up, so we should take ourselves a break. When we come back, it is time for not only the Dreamcast starter kits, but I'm going to catch up. It was brought to my attention that we didn't talk about the listener N64 lists, so we're going to do the listener N64 lists and the listener Dreamcast kits and our kits. It's going to be awesome. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around. And now, here's a quick look at some of the other original content available now from our partners and Geekade.com.
First up, this week's episode is back. That's right, motherfuckers. After taking the summer off like a bunch of lazy-ass school teachers, Evan, Angie, because fucking school... y'all, you get 3 months off, you barely fucking work, the kids do the shit. I don't know what you're all bitching about. God, fucking... Common Core, it's great. Fucking, what's the other one that we're supposed to be angry about? Critical Race Theory. You
Critical
fucks.
Race Theory, yeah.
Don't do that shit. Oh, God, teach actual history? Oh. History's written by the winners, sir. Evan, Angie, Chris, and Karen have reunited to talk television once a month for the foreseeable future. And thankfully, we've got 2020 vision, so that shit goes a long fucking way. They didn't have a feature topic this week, but they did have a whole heck of a lot to catch up on, including She-Hulk, Stranger Things, A Log of Their Own, I believe is how you pronounce it, and a whole lot more. Don't miss this week's...
It's Ligway.
A Ligway of Their Own. And a whole lot more. Don't miss this week's episode 250 fucking 6, the business end of all of our business.
Or as Karen calls it, the lesbian baseball show.
Is it good? I want to watch it. I love the movie so much.
I love the movie so much too. Karen says the show is very good, but it's very different from the movie.
Well, it doesn't have John Leguizamo. So, or not John Leguizamo. Not definitely doesn't have fucking John Leguizamo.
It doesn't have Tom Hanks. Apparently,
what is
the
his
Tom
name? I can't even
Hanks-esque
remember it now.
character is played by Ron Swanson. But regardless, the show is way less of a comedy than the movie was. So
it's not John. What's the fucking John I'm thinking of? I can't even remember his name now. I'm legitimately drawing a blank.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
Beelzebub on SNL. See, the train moves, not the station. Fucking, what's his name?
Next, also returning from summer break is the Wave Back Music Podcast.
Fuck, Reed, I'm going to look it up. Nobody will know. Evan, edit this part.
Matt and myself decided on a killer Sunsoft classic to get things back in gear. Gimmick for Famicom has an amazingly well-made soundtrack. And with the recent announcement that the game is making a comeback via modern platforms later this year, it seemed like the perfect game to shake the rust off and get back in a groove with. Be sure to check out Waveback, episode 153, Gimmick.
John Lovitz, Chris. John goddamn Lovitz.
John Lovitz.
That's not John... It's not John Leguizamo.
That's not him at all.
It's not even close. It's fucking not even Jonathan Lithgow Jace. Did you tell the cows you'd write? Fucking shit is so good. I say that to my kids all the time because they're 13 and they suck and they don't move fast. They have the speed of a sloth. And I'll be standing at the door just screaming in my house, see, the train moves, not the station. And they've never seen A League of Their Own, and they don't fucking get it, but it makes me not kill them. Finally, has your hair been more spiky and blonde than normal?
Yes, it has.
Okay, good. I was hoping you would answer. Did you also perhaps grow a few feet and this is why I don't get paid, and turn orange?
Absolutely.
100%. Has your unhealthy obsession with superheroes caused you to create a brainless clone of one of the planet's most terrifying villains?
Dan, if I had $1.
If I had a nickel for every time that happened, well, I'd only have 2 nickels, but it's still pretty weird that it's happened twice. If these things have happened to you, you should listen to the latest episode of The Weekend Rental, where they discuss Dragon Ball Superhero. And that's Dragon Ball should really talk to me before they name shit. And what it was like seeing it in the theaters. There's also Fortnite talk, Cowabunga-ing with the Ninja Turtles, a fraudulent ANW, not AEW, but ANW experience, and more. What does all that mean? Find out in the Weekend Rental episode 133, The Gamers Go Super Saiyan.
For all this and more from us and our partners, be sure to keep your eyes on geekade.com. All right, everybody, welcome back. We are we're about to do the Dreamcast starter kit. The starter kits, if anyone's new around here, basically, if you had $100, a theoretical exercise. We're not serious. You shouldn't actually do this.
No, you 100% should.
The theoretical
this is the best advice we've ever
are,
given, Chris.
If you had $100 to start a physical game collection, you have access to the console and whatever accessories are required to use whatever games we're picking. Just all you need to do is you have $100 to pick the 10 games to start a collection with. So last month we did N64. Apparently I forgot to read the N64 ones by our listeners, so I'm going to do that in a minute, and then we're going to get to our Dreamcast starter kits, and then we'll read the listener Dreamcast starter kits. So starting out, last month's N64, we have Tiny Matt. Here is the list. This is on our Discord. Here's the list I have. I'm partly happy with it, but man, is it missing some really great stuff. We have Perfect Dark at $17.50, Mario Tennis for $21.76, Ocarina of Time for $29.15, WrestleMania 2000 for $14, and Pokemon Snap for $16.95. That brought them up to $99.60.
That's not a bad list.
Yeah, Perfect Dark, Mario Tennis, Ocarina, WrestleMania 2000. Yeah, that's solid. I like that one. Good job, Matt.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Pokemon Snap guy, but I get it.
Yeah, I get it. I've never really, the game's never really snapped with me, but I'm not really a Pokemon guy. So, all right, a solid as Snake does Wave Race for 10, Ocarina of Time for 29, and Majora's Mask for 60. You're out of your mind.
God damn it!
I know some people just adore Majora's Mask. I get it. That's so not for me. But man, doing both Ocarina and Majora for your N64 list. I love that you have Wave Race on there, though. I love that that's where you went with the rest of your money. So that earns my respect, without a doubt.
I mean, you're fucking talking bang for your buck, man. And like, it's hard to not put Zelda games on a Nintendo list.
You're absolutely right. It is, because they're just damn good. I've replayed Ocarina of Time a lot. Like, I have so gotten my money's worth out of every purchase of that game I've ever made.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We've got Gerardo here. We've got Rogue Squadron, Star Fox 64, Pilot Wing 64, Wave Race 64, Ocarina of Time, Armorines, Project Swarm, and Quarterback Club 99.
Because you had some filler?
Yeah, it technically came out to $100.38. Now you're fine.
Take it off.
We've been rounding, so he said I can shave off the change by checking prices. I'll drop Quarterback Club. So worst case, you got to drop Quarterback Club. But all right, Armorines Project Swarm. Can't say I've ever played the N64 version of Armorines. I don't think I've played any version of Armorines actually. But,
yeah, I was gonna say I don't know that I have
$9.
either, but
I respect that.
There you go.
Works for me. Duroc Pig, we got WCW NWA Revenge, Star Fox 64, Beetle Adventure Racing, excellent pick, Cruising USA, NFL Blitz, and Perfect Dark. I like that list. I would say that Cruising USA is kind of negated by Beetle Adventure Racing, but
I don't really know Beetle Adventure Racing. Is that like when Volkswagen made the new Beetle?
Yeah, and they made this really interesting racing game out of it. I haven't spent a ton of time with it, but I used to play it in my store a bunch. It's got like a bunch of branching paths. It's just a really creative and very fun racing game that'll never get re-released because of the VW Beetle licensing. Sure. But I just wish...
That brings us back to the fucking Disney thing earlier today. That fucking racing game that they did. Like the interesting looking racing game with the different branching paths. Yeah, but it's Volkswagen Beetles?
Yeah.
That's wild.
It is pretty wild. But it's a very cool game. All right, so that's a good list. Last one we have is Reformat. He says, one of the great things about the N64 is the wide range of genres that work on it. One of the worst things about it is that a lot of those prime examples are immediately priced out. Very true.
Yeah.
So for this one, I went with a cross-section that gives newcomers a good idea of what's possible on the platform. Then afterwards, they can save up for that copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day that they absolutely should get. Yeah, so he actually has descriptions for all these things. So,
wow, you're way better at this than we are.
Yeah. All right, Wipeout 64. While a little rough around the edges due to being Psygnosis' first and only N64 game, in some ways, it's a better futuristic racer than F-Zero X. Even without that comparison, it's just a load of fun. Fantastic track design, a real sense of speed, lots of gameplay variations, and even weapons. I agree. I think I liked F-Zero X better personally.
Sure.
But I really liked Wipeout 64. It was a fantastic game. Well done. Wave Race 64. Well, I didn't want to put another racing game in this list, but I had $10.60 left over, and I figured this was better than Superman 64. And the thing is, racing games in 64...
arguably better. The Scotch.
The thing is, racing games in the N64 tended to be excellent. Wave Race 64 is no exception. It's just fun. So unless you hate fun, pick this one up. Agreed. Pilot Wing 64. I just couldn't leave this one out. There's so much fun to be had with it. There's a reason this was a launch title if you want to lead with your best foot forward. You're absolutely right. Pilot Wing 64 is a fantastic and awesome game that I want them to put on a virtual console so I can play it in a modern setting and spend the time with it that I never got to when it originally came out because I never wound up having the game on 64 until way later in life.
For sure.
Perfect Dark. It's like GoldenEye, but more refined and better in just about every way, although admittedly its pause screen music isn't as badass. It took everything that made GoldenEye fun and ramped it up to 11. I do think that Perfect Dark is more bang for your buck. Star Fox 64, I actually mulled over dumping this and listing Rogue Squadron instead to save a few bucks, but after much deliberation, I decided that if you're going to have a good representation of a space shooter in your starter kit, Star Fox 64 is the one to get, and I reluctantly agree with you, because Rogue Squadron is fantastic, but I think Star Fox 64 is just that much better. I've gone back to Star Fox more than I have to Rogue Squadron. And then last but not least, Ocarina of Time. The important thing here is that it's not Quest 64. Well said. So there you go. Those are the listener N64 lists. Yeah.
That's and those a solid argument.
Those are all pretty good lists. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Dreamcast list up here. And now let's do ours first, and then we'll go over the listener ones. So
how many games do you have, 2, 3, 4, Mr. Chris Randazzo?
I have 8 games.
Oh, shit. I have 9, so I get to start.
Good, because I forgot to put mine in alphabetical order.
All right. Well, I think... I'm almost positive that my first game is... I mentioned in the Discord that we definitely did this. I think I did this list with my wife and just confused it talking with Chris because Chris is my wife. Is kind of the point we're at now. I really could have sworn we fucking had these conversations. But okay. I'm pretty sure that this is on your list. My original price was $17, but checking today, I actually updated today, and I ended up getting another game on my list. I had an extra $5 because there was a difference. So I am going to mention the difference just because I think it's interesting the difference a month makes. This game actually went up $1 from $17 a month ago to $18, and that is Choo Choo Rocket. It is the first Dreamcast game that supported online gaming. It is a wonderful little puzzle game. It's very simple, right? You're just putting your arrows on the map, the screen to get your mice away from the into rockets and away from cats.
Very strange orange cats, yes.
Very, very, very strange looking cats, but a super addictive little puzzle game. Did some interesting stuff with the VMUs, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember exactly because I never had the VMUs with my Dreamcast and I didn't play a ton of Choo Choo Rocket, but I know I should have a puzzle game on here somewhere, and that is the one that I picked for $18.
That is a solid pick. It just barely didn't make my list.
That's really surprising. I really thought it would. I know you like that game way more than I do.
I like it quite a bit. I wound up
it's really
cutting.
Fun.
It was one of the last ones that I cut when I made I made a whole list of everything I'd want, and then yeah, almost, but not quite.
All right,
great pick. Love that game.
What you got next?
My first pick is for $14. Crazy Taxi.
Oh, that's my next pick. God damn it! All right, you have to have fucking Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, fucking what a Dreamcast game. Like, I know it was an arcade game first, but that is a goddamn Dreamcast game right there. That is a Dreamcast-ass Dreamcast game. It was really so much fun. The stupid Offspring soundtrack was all loud.
It's so good. It's so 90s.
Just wonderful. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I tend to have various food videos playing in the background while I'm recording this podcast for some reason.
Because you're a fucking slovenly fat bitch.
What?
And I think
about food almost as much as I think about video games. Somebody is, and I can't believe I've never done this, and I'm totally going to once the weather cools down. Somebody is it's basically doing a chili dog taco. You got a tortilla, then laying down a layer of chili, and then you put a hot dog on top of that, some onions and peppers. They threw some mustard on top. I don't know that I'd include the mustard. I don't know. I haven't really thought about mustard and chili before, but yeah, that's the plan. I can only assume they're going to put cheese on top of this. I paused the video.
Oh, for sure. You have
no,
to.
these lunatics are not shredding cheese on top of this. What's wrong with you? They just put put some oregano or cilantro. No, it can't be cilantro. It's just some green leaves on it. Now, how fucking dare you? No, that has to have cheese on it.
They just went and cut some grass and threw it on there. Fucking savages.
Just grab some lawn clippings. How dare you?
What is that? It's fucking dandelion weed. Fuck off. What's wrong with you? No, Crazy Taxi.
Chili dog taco. I'm totally going to do that. All right, yes, Crazy Taco. Crazy Taco.
Crazy Taco. Crazy Taco.
Yeah.
Yay. It was fucking $14 a month ago.
It's Crazy Taco.
It's $14 now. I know Tiny Matt had said in our Discord, he was like, I spent about 5 minutes with that game, and I realized that was about all Crazy Taxi was. And you're absolutely right. Like, it doesn't fucking change, but still.
But I can't tell you how much time I spent with that goddamn game.
It's really fun.
I love it.
It didn't wow me. It didn't fucking grab me by the balls and like look into my eyes on other systems the way it did on the Dreamcast.
That first one was just
for GameCube. Like Crazy Taxi 2 was like
Crazy Taxi 1 got ported to GameCube around GameCube and PS2 around when Crazy Taxi 2 was coming out on Dreamcast. And then Crazy Taxi 3 hit Xbox as an exclusive. But
that first Crazy Taxi, man, it was fucking lightning in a bottle. You know,
exactly.
Like it was very Sega. It was very of the time. It's very much one of those games where, again, like, and this is the conversation Tiff and I had apparently a month ago, of like, you can't have a fucking Dreamcast list without Crazy Taxi. It has to be on there. It just has to be. All right, my next game then, Chris, and maybe this made yours. I have to imagine that this made your list as well. $17 last month, $17 this month. House of the Dead 2. If I'm assuming you have light guns, you're getting House of the Dead 2.
Yeah, it just barely didn't make it.
Oh my god, how is that possible?
I made a last minute swap on that one. It was like, God, that game is so goddamn good, but
It's so good.
I'll talk about what I switched it out with, and I don't know that I felt good about it. I was going back and forth. God, that it was I bought that game. I bought that game with 2 light guns day one on $9.99. We are recording this on September 9th, which is fantastic.
That's right. But, it was super fun.
I bought that game on day one, and I love it to death.
To this day, it's still fun.
It's still fun.
It still holds up. It's like, apart from the Dreamcast games that we'll talk about at the end that were too expensive that couldn't make the list. Like, a lot of those games hold up, and some of these are like, if you play Crazy Taxi today, like, you probably would, like Tiny Matt said, have like 10 minutes of fun with it. You know, be like, all right, that was maybe worth the $14. But House of the Dead 2 for $17, this was like, I mean, this is one of the all-time light gun shooters. It's fucking great. It came out at a time, I'm so sick of zombies now, Chris. I could not care any fucking less. I just... You know, I love zombies. I have to love zombies as a genre. I'm a horror kid. I fucking loved that shit when I was little. You know, zombies were always so fucking scary because, you know, the dead rising from the grave, whatever. But they've just been so done to death. Like, did you watch any of the fucking Resident Evil show on Netflix?
No, it apparently got canned already.
Oh my God, it's so... With all of the Resident Evil canon that already existed, they somehow decided to make a movie about Wesker's kids, or a show about Wesker. It's a bold fucking choice, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Oh, wait. It fucking didn't. It so didn't. It was so bad. Like, zombies are so done to death now. But when this game came out, like you said, $99.99, you fucking dropped the money on this game. And it was fresh, and it was exciting, and it was so fucking good. It's so fun. House of the Dead 2 fucking rules. I can't believe this is not on your list. It's $17.
I know it is.
Dreamcast is so expensive, and House of the Dead 2 is less than $20.
It was. I made a last minute swap. I don't know if it was the right decision.
What else you have?
Well, my next game is a whopping $8, and I think it's important to have there. It's never been my exact cup of tea, but it's one of those things that it's a thing that happened in stores that was like really magical at the time, and that's NFL 2K2.
Okay.
I went with the most recent one because like the prices were all pretty much the same. But these NFL 2K games were not only were they like, they were system defining. Like, NFL 2K was one of the reasons people bought a goddamn Dreamcast. Yeah. Because they would walk into our store and we would have video of the game playing and be like, oh, you get to watch football in here? I'm like, no, that's a video game. Then they'd have to do a double take and be like, oh shit, that is a video game. And like, you, of course, once you know it is, then you know it is. Like, you see that their fingers aren't moving and everything like that. But man...
But it was crazy.
At first glance, that game could be mistaken for real life, and that was amazing at the time. And it's still a pretty fun football game. Like, I don't love it, but I think as something that's emblematic of what the Dreamcast is, not having any sports games on there, I think would be a huge oversight.
I will talk about those in a minute.
I have at least one other sports game, probably the same one as you, but like I feel like that's almost
I have
different.
3 actually, but
it's kind of a different animal, I think. But regardless, I've thought one of the NFL 2Ks was important, and might as well have gone with the most recent one.
Yeah, for sure. I somewhat disagree, and I will explain why I disagree in a minute. But before we get to that, the game that I was able to add this afternoon because I had an extra $5, and this game was like $4 and some change, so I just put it up as $5. Is NBA 2K1 because
there you go.
NBA 2K is still a massive franchise every single year, and I am not a huge fan of it currently because of all the fucking microtransactions and silly shit that they do with it, but there is a lot of really good stuff that's in there. But basketball games are genuinely fun, even if you're not a basketball fan. It's a very, very fun gameplay and mechanic, right? It just works. And the NBA 2K games, that didn't feel right the way it came out first. They fucking really put NBA Live, the EA games, out of business.
Yeah.
They just came in and were like, nope, we're going to make a good basketball game. And we were like, fuck, NBA Live does suck. Son of a bitch. And then EA came back with NBA Street, and it was like, all right, this is dope, but that was only like 3 years or whatever. But the 2K franchise is still going strong. NBA 2K1 for $5. It's got Allen Iverson on the cover. I fucking hate the Sixers. I've always hated the Sixers. But I love Allen Iverson, and you can't go wrong with Allen Iverson, Chris.
I was never as impressed with the NBA 2K games, just from a visual standpoint, and that's why I went with NFL instead of NBA. That's all it came down to me.
That works. That makes sense to me.
All right, I guess that brings it back to my turn, and my next game for $10 is Sega Bass Fishing.
Oh shit, that's only $5, dude. I got
Really?
Sega Bass Fishing on there. The Sega All-Stars version is $5.
Is it really? How did I miss that?
I don't know.
Oh, that's going to change my whole damn list.
All right, well, fuck it. Let me do my other one first, because you said NBA 2K2 or NFL 2K2. I said NFL 2K1 because it's only $3. All that shit you said, but it's $2 cheaper. Now we're on the Sega Bass Fishing.
Oh my God, Sega Bass Fishing is indeed $5. $5. Okay, so I have $5 more to work with here. Oh shit.
Let's talk about why the fuck you and I both picked Sega Bass Fishing, though.
Because that game's fucking fun.
It's fucking great. The fishing controller?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding? This is the exact conversation that I am 100% positive you and I have had in a different life. This is why I messaged the Discord today if we've definitely had this. Because I was almost positive that you and I have had this exact conversation. Because a fucking fishing game. Fuck you. Why is that on both of our lists? It's amazing you had a fishing controller. It fucking rules.
Yeah, and the fact that you could use that fishing controller on other games is kind of hilarious. But no, the game is
also true.
Fishing video games are fun. Like that's where there's a reason fishing is in like every damn Zelda game. Like because fishing in video games is fun. Fishing in Animal Crossing is fun. Fishing in Labo was a blast. Like it's just a neat thing to do in video games that makes it its own thing as opposed to doing fishing in real life where there's a whole lot of patience involved.
Yeah, fishing in real life.
Fishing, you're gonna catch all kinds of shit.
But I understand why it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
You gotta, it's a commitment.
Indeed.
I'm really more there for the beer than the fishing, if we're being honest. All right, and we're all friends here. But goddamn, like what's crazy about this game too is how good it looks. It looks really good.
Yeah.
The water effects are really great. The reflections on the water, which is such a stupid thing. But back then it was like, oh my God, this is fucking, it still had that weird Sega humanoid character thing that they did. But goddamn, this game looks good. The fish are fucking sexy as hell. I mean, you put that big mouth bass on there and just goddamn, I'll tell you. I believe this was at the time that Big Mouth Billy Bass was like a big deal, which I gotta be honest, that thing's still funny. If you don't think that thing's funny, you just don't understand humor. Put that shit on with like some Rancid in the background. Fucking hilarious.
All right, now I'm at 92 because I just changed NFL 2K to NFL 2K2 to NFL 2K. So that dropped down to $6.
Yeah.
So
go with 2K1. It'll drop it down to $3, Chris.
Oh my God, really? 2K1's $3?
Yeah. Do you not listen when I talk? Obviously not. You just let the conversation die. Yeah.
Right.
NFL 2K1, $3 last month, $3 this month. Sega Bass Fishing, $5 last month, $5 this month. Come on, man, do your research.
All right, so that puts me at 10, right? Is that where I'm at now? Plus 3, 5. Carry
the 12.
Oh, I'm so close.
7 exponents.
89. So I have $11 to work with. I'm so close to adding House of the Dead back on there. I need $6 more. How can I find $6 more out of this list? I don't know
because I'm 100% sure that the next game on your list is currently $17 as of today. I don't know if it's next on your list, but Oh, you just want me to go while you're fucking researching? Since
Yeah,
we've
go
thrown
ahead.
the format completely out of here.
No, go ahead.
$17, Soul Calibur.
Of course.
You're not allowed to have a Dreamcast without Soul Calibur, and it's $17. That's the end of that story. Soul Calibur is one of the greatest fighting games ever made.
Yeah, the first one on Dreamcast still plays and looks as good as it did the day it came out. Is still impressive to look at. God damn, that game is good.
It's
unreasonably
so good.
Good.
It is almost, again, it's one of those very few circumstances where we're talking about a damn near perfect game, right? Because there have been Soul Caliburs since Soul Calibur. There have been multiple Soul Calibur. I think we're up to like 6 or 7 now. And they've all been technically better, right? Soul Calibur 2 is technically better than Soul Calibur. But is it as good? That's honestly a conversation to have.
It is.
And
I think it
crazy.
is as good. I think it is as good because as much as
Link
I love...
is just so good.
Link is just so good. But, the first one has that whole edit the opening sequence to just be Lizard Man over and over again, which is one of the greatest things you can do in any video game. So.
Lizard Man. And,
Lizard Man doing the sexy Sofitia pose.
Oh my God, it's so fucking great. It's so great. But that's the craziest thing. Like, there's no comparing Street Fighter 2 to Street Fighter. Like, it is technically a better game. Is it as good? Oh my God, it's so much better.
It's that's not it. That isn't a conversation.
We're now 6 iterations into the Soul Calibur franchise, and we're still going to continue to have that conversation of, while it's better, graphically better, there's more characters, there's more moves, more options, more X, more Y, more Z, is it as good? That's how fucking good Soul Calibur is.
It's nothing short of a masterpiece.
It's so perfectly balanced. And I know, like, and I say that even knowing that, like, Mitsurugi and I think Lizard Man were banned from tournaments for a while. But it's so perfectly balanced. Like, I don't understand the banning of those characters. There's ways around them if you know what you're doing. Like, this is a game where you could succeed as the slow, lumbering characters or the weird charge characters in a way that you couldn't in other fighting games of the time.
I played this game so much that, especially against the same handful of people, there was a guy I worked with named Chris at Funko Land. I was able to beat him with my eyes closed. Yeah. I was able to fight him with my eyes closed based on hearing what he was doing, like hearing what his characters were doing and just being like, all right, I know what he's going to do, and I'm going to counter it. And, like, it worked. I was able to beat him with my eyes closed.
It
made him very angry. But
that's how good the game is.
Yeah,
that's how good it is.
It's so good.
It's one of the very few fighting games that literally does become second nature. It just feels right, and it's $17.
Yeah.
Which I have to again point out is the price of House of the Dead 2, and I question your entire list because it's not on it.
All right, so this is what I put on my list as a last-minute swap out. And I took off House of the Dead to put this one on there, and that is Shenmue.
Oh, man, I disagree. I know that
I don't think Shenmue is a better game than House of the Dead. Please don't. That is not even a consideration for me.
It's a very important Dreamcast
exactly game. I'm thinking as representing the Dreamcast, one of the things that the Dreamcast did so special was fucking Shenmue. That game was really weird, and before that system came out, that was like one of those things that people would look at and be like, oh my God, I can't believe video games look like this now. And of course it looks ridiculous now, but it's such an interesting game. And I was like, House of the Dead, like, it's like the pinnacle of light gun shooters, but it's kind of like out there in the world. Like, there are other light gun shooters. Shenmue is still a pretty unique thing, and especially that first game has a specific magic about it that I know the sequels The third one, I believe, was apparently a big disappointment to a lot of people. There is something about that first game, something about the riding a forklift and all the weird facial expressions on people when you talk to them. There's something so inherently Dreamcast about that game, and
oh man,
that's where I was at. Like,
I want to really bash this because one, I've never played Shenmue more than like 5 minutes because that game is definitely not for me, and I can't really put my finger on why. I just knew instantly it wasn't. And two, it's not House of the Dead 2, but I don't think I can in good conscience bash your pick of this because you're right, it is.
It's
just
such an important Dreamcast game, but like,
I know,
God, House of the Dead 2
from
is
$100
so good.
standpoint. Like, I feel like Shenmue, if you're not a Shenmue person, you'd be like, I mean, why did I buy this? Like, okay.
If it was more than $20, I would. It was $19.
Yeah, no,
like at $19, it's like, all right, that's that close. But now I'm at this point where I have $11 to spend, and I don't want, like, I'm looking at the one $11 game that's on my list. I'm like, I like it, but I don't know that there's got to be something more important to put on there for that. But everything else is more than 11.
We definitely have one game that's the same, but I don't have any $11 games on my list. So I'm really curious as to what that one is. I really like, I do disagree with your pick of Shenmue, but I can't disagree with it at the same time.
And that's fair. I completely, I'm with you. I'm on the fence about it, but I think I'm just going to stick to my guns there and say that's what I'm going with. Even though it may not be the right decision, it might be.
That's
I
fair.
don't know.
That's fair.
I don't know what the right thing is doing. If you're doing House of the Dead, then I'll take the hit and do Shen.
I mean, because again, I am going to have, I don't know what else is going to be on my PS2 list in 2 months, but Tokyo Extreme Racer Zero is going to be on there. I don't know that that's the right choice, but I do know it's the choice I'm making. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. So, all right. Well, my next game, I have 2 games left, and one of them I would be shocked if this is not on your list. Like, legitimately, I mean, I'm shocked that. Shut the fuck up, Siri. I don't care about the NFL schedule. I didn't say anything close to the NFL schedule. The Giants are gonna suck. Don't fucking tell me anything about the NFL. How dare you? What a bitch. Space Channel 5 is $14. It was $15 last month. It's $14 this month. I feel about Space Channel 5. I don't think it's a great game. I think it's a fun game. I think it's an interesting game. I think it is an important Dreamcast game. The same argument that you're making for Shenmue.
It's the same argument for Shenmue and Crazy Taxi. It's a Dreamcast-ass Dreamcast game. That is a
Space Channel 5
Dreamcast game. That's
a fucking
system.
weird-ass game. It's a weird-ass game. It's fun. I don't know that it was like $50 fun when it came out, but I think it's...
I loved it.
Excuse me.
I mean, you know how much I love rhythm
though,
games.
No, I love rhythm games too, but I still don't know that it was a $50 game. I do know for damn sure it's a $14 game.
Yeah.
I know that's definitely true. It's super weird. It's super duper of the time. But because it's a rhythm game, it still holds up. It didn't need to do anything super different or flashy or look the best or whatever. It does look good.
It didn't. It's got Space Michael in it.
It's got Space Michael, and I know he's a problematic dude, but goddamn, like, if you don't honestly like early Michael Jackson, I question if you understand music even a little bit. Like, for real, that's a question. Even like up to like Man in the Mirror, that's good shit. Anyway, it's a fucking weird ass game, but I definitely think you should have it.
Yeah, I do. It's on my list.
Okay, is it? Okay.
Yeah, that one's 100% on my list. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so Dreamcast. It never worked on any other system they put it on. It didn't feel right on any other system they put it on. And if Sega entered the console market tomorrow and they were like, we got a new Space Channel 5, it would make perfect sense and it would be a huge seller because that's where it should be. It doesn't belong anywhere else.
God, they're gonna make that
just
into
a
movie.
weird
That's such
company.
a weird thing.
You know what I mean? Like, Sega's just weird. And their weirdness is one of the things I loved about them. And Space Channel 5 is great. It's super fun.
It is. Agree. It's totally on my list. How many you got left?
I got one left. It's
right,
$7. Do you have a $7 one
I
that
sure
maybe
do.
starts with a V? I'm
Yep,
sure you
that's
do.
the one.
Because it's
All right, so
fucking
then
great.
I'll go next, and I will say for $10, you're goddamn right, Toy Commander's on there. That was the number one thing on my list.
I knew it would be.
Toy Commander
just
had to be
missed
there.
mine.
It's my favorite Dreamcast game. I think it's loaded with creativity. It's got an amazing soundtrack. It's got great multiplayer. Toy Commander is just fucking cool, and like,
Yeah, it's real good.
it's never
I don't
going to
love
be
it the way
ported
you
to
do,
anything
but
ever.
But it's real good.
No cliche is gone, but I have no idea who even owns the rights to that game anymore. But I would love to see it put on modern platforms. I just think it's such a neat concept that the it's not like Toy Story. It's like you're pretending a kid is playing with these cars. So if there's a ramp near a wall, you can just drive up the wall, because what kid didn't drive cars up the wall? Like it's
this wonderful capturing of childhood imagination in video game form.
Yeah.
Which,
like
if that is not what video games are, you know,
it's wonderful. I just think that it's, of course, the game's got tons of flaws. The controls aren't spectacular, but it's another Dreamcast game, and it's not the best looking Dreamcast game, which was one of the things that killed it when it first came out. I remember people would see the videos and be like, Toy Commander, that doesn't look very good. And like, no, the graphics didn't look as impressive as like Sonic Adventure, but god damn, is this game fun to play and interesting to play. I love Toy Commander, and I will shout that from the rooftops.
I feel like Toy Commander is the most Atari game that has been made since like the 7800.
Huh.
That feels
Can't say I've
like
ever thought about it that way.
To me, it's always felt like a very much rooted in that imagination, putting yourself into the game in a way that hasn't been required to do so, like since that time, right? When you know, and even before the 2800, like 2600 kind of shit, like where you're square, but no, I'm a fucking knight, you know? Because you're right. What kid did not drive your fucking Matchbox car up the goddamn wall? Of course you did. Of course you did. So you're putting, like, there's just this level of whimsy and wonder that is just really fucking special. And if I had an extra $10 today, Toy Commander would have made it back on. Sorry, I just had to sneeze. I don't know if I got the mute on before I sneezed or not. I was choked. I was trying to get my sentence out and not sneeze because I don't want to offend that one listener. Yeah, Toy Commander's fucking great.
Now, of course, our last pick, Virtua Tennis.
No, of course. That was the one that I started with. I don't know that I had more fun with any Dreamcast game other than Virtua Tennis. Like, I had a lot of fun with some of these other games that couldn't make my list because they're too expensive. Virtua Tennis is perfect. $7.
Yep.
It's perfect. It's.
I remember when they released Tennis 2K2. I was like, why?
Why? You don't need to do that.
You nailed you could just play this forever. It's perfect.
Yeah. You can put in Virtua Tennis today on a Dreamcast, and it's as good and as fun as it has always been.
Agreed.
It's perfect. Pong. It's Pong, then Virtua Tennis, and then you don't ever need to do that again. You're good. Don't fucking make any more of those. Like, Hot Shots Tennis is fun. It's not Virtua Tennis. Game's perfect.
Yeah, Virtua Tennis is just too good. And it's like, I feel like that doesn't even qualify as a sports game. Like, it's its own.
It's beyond that. Yeah.
Exactly. It's beyond a sports simulator. It's the most simple, most ubiquitous video game concept boiled down to its core. It's great.
To just perfection.
Yeah.
And like, I think I've told the story before of like, that's how one of my best friends in the world, my buddy Nick, that I went to college with, that's how we like originally met and bonded. Was like I would go down to his dorm room and like we would play Virtua Tennis together, like till fucking crazy hours in the morning, and then be like, oh shit, I have class in like, I don't know, 12 minutes. Fuck. All right, I guess I'm gonna go to European history now. Like we would just stay up all fucking night playing that game and just going absolutely crazy. And like that game and Neversoft Spider-Man, like built a friendship that he's godfather to my kids. You know what I mean? Like it's just those games are very, very special and important to me personally, in addition to being really, really outstanding games. And a couple of years ago, we met at like a what the fuck's the place you go with all the arcade games or all the systems and shit? Yestercade. We met at a place like Yestercade for Lord Helmet's birthday, one of our other roommates from college. And it wasn't Yestercade, it was Yestercade at Jace. And they had a Dreamcast set up, and Nick and I, like, we were kind of milling around and doing some other stuff, and we both looked over and we saw the Dreamcast, and we didn't say anything. He and I walked over to it, and we both knew that Virtua Tennis was the game that was going in it, and we were going to play Virtua Tennis together, 15, 20 years after we had gotten out of college together. And we didn't have to say, and it just instantly felt like it was back in like 2001 or 2000, whatever fucking year it was. And we were both like 20 years old, sitting in his dorm room, fucking drinking beer and playing Virtua Tennis. And it's just, it's one of, I would put it on the, like, legitimately, I think it might make, I don't know if it makes my top 10, but I feel like it would make my top 20 games of all the times, Chris. Of all the times. I think it's in that spot. That is how much, how strongly I feel about that game.
I think that is a worthy spot for a game of that caliber. Virtua Tennis is
probably like number 17. Like somewhere around there. I don't know if it's like top 10, but like definitely in the top 20.
Well,
what's the $11 game you had?
Ready to Rumble Boxing.
Oh, stop it. Get that the fuck off of there and put House of the Dead 2. How dare you?
Like, House of the Dead 2 is $17. I love
Ready to Rumble Boxing.
I don't have enough. I have $11 left. So, like, I have Ready to Rumble Boxing and I have Trick Style for $7. The closest thing I have is Echo Defender of the Future for $12.
You have Ready to Rumble and Trick Style?
They're not on my list. They're the ones that didn't make the cut.
Oh, not on. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Didn't make
I
my
misunderstood.
Cut. It's like I have $11, so I'm looking at the ones that I cut, and I'm like, well, I can't get Echo on there. I know you hate all forms of Echo, but I thought the Dreamcast Echo game was fascinating.
I do indeed.
Like, I guess Ready to Rumble's the only thing I have, because I don't want to put Trick Style and then have like $4 left over. And I mean, at
that point, you might as well put Real Fishing Wild on there as well, so you could have two fishing games.
I'd rather put Ready to Rumble than a second fishing game.
I'm looking. No, Royal Rumble.
I didn't see anything else of value. Anything else that was better than Ready to Rumble.
NHL 2K2 is probably arguably better.
Yeah, but like the first Ready to Rumble, I spent so much time with. That
what about Arrow
fun.
Wings?
Yeah, I thought about that one too.
Slave Zero, those were both pretty decent shooters, right?
Yeah, but are they more fun than Ready to Rumble Boxing? That first Ready to Rumble Boxing was such a Dreamcast thing. It was a launch day game. It was really fun to play. They didn't like the sequel, but that first game was it was super fun. And
I like the sequel too. You're right. They're fun games for sure.
It's one of the first things that comes to mind when I think of the Dreamcast. If I had one more dollar, I'd absolutely do Echo. Good. But yeah, Ready to Rumble it is. Good.
It's fun. It had some of the spirit and the cheek of Punch Out, but was like more of a boxing game than a puzzle game.
Yeah, it was very much a boxing game.
Yeah. I liked it. I agree with that pick. It's a solid pick.
Yeah, it's really the only...
I think I've had it on one of our other lists, too. I can't remember now.
It's House of the Dead versus Shenmue, really. It's what it boils down to. And since you took House of the Dead, I'll stick with my pick of Shenmue, but it's not one I feel great about. But that's what we have.
Give me your list again, Chris. Top to
full
bottom.
List. Crazy Taxi, NFL 2K1, Ready to Rumble Boxing, Sega Bass Fishing, Shenmue, Soul Calibur, Space Channel 5, Toy Commander, and Virtua Tennis.
All right, and I had Choo Choo Rocket, Crazy Taxi, House of the Dead 2, NBA 2K1, NFL 2K1, Sega Bass Fishing's The Sega All-Stars Edition, Soul Calibur, Space Channel 5, and Virtua Tennis. What just missed your list? I have a whole bunch that missed my list because they were way too fucking expensive.
House of the Dead, Trick Style. All right, so Power Stone 1 and 2, obviously. Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2. Cannon Spike. If you've never played Cannon Spike, it's fucking stupid. It's great, but it's fucking weird. It's like you can be Charlie from Street Fighter and Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins in a top-down shooter. What the...
Because why not? That game's awesome.
I considered the first Sonic Adventure, but not for $32 goddamn dollars.
No, not even close.
It's another one of those, like, it's such an important piece of the Dreamcast's DNA, but like outside of the first 2 stages, I don't think the game's very good. So Resident Evil Code Veronica is pretty good, but it's $22.
It's real good on Dreamcast.
Yeah, and that's what it was made for. You know,
for sure.
Echo the Dolphin for $12. I like Defender of the Future. I thought it was a really interesting game. Street Fighter Alpha 3 for Dreamcast was great.
Yeah, $37.
Yeah, I had $39. Soul Reaver. I love the Dreamcast version of Soul Reaver.
I had that at $20.
That's where I had it, and I think I put that on my PlayStation list anyway. So
it's better on Dreamcast.
Choo Choo Rocket was on my list. Really, Ms. Pac-Man Maze Madness was another one that really hurt to take off this list because I love that game. And House of the Dead 2 and Trick Style. So. Trick Style was all right, but it's $7.
Minus the ones that you mentioned, the ones that hurt to take off were the ones that were close. Of like,
Seaman. Sorry, I had to mention Seaman. That's holy shit. That game got expensive. Last I checked, that game was worth nothing. Nobody wanted it, but now that game is worth like what is it? I think loose. It's like $60 or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man, Seaman. What a Dreamcast game that was.
That is the Dreamcastiest of
such
Dreamcast
a weird
games.
game. Loved it. Oh, how much was Pen Pen? That game's got to be stupid expensive, right? Pen Tricloron or whatever.
I don't even know what that game is. I've never.
It was the weird penguin foot racing game.
Oh,
it was really close to.
I know what it is. I've never played it, but I do know what that is.
Pen Trialcilon. I still don't know how to say it. It's only $14. No, $15.
Yeah,
it doesn't take anything off my list, but
no,
that's another weird ass, very uniquely Dreamcast game.
I really wanted Fatal Fury: Mark of the Wolves.
Right
on there.
Right, that's
it's
a good
not
one.
It's not $40 good, but it's fucking good. I really, really like that game. Samba de Amigo is it's such an interesting game, but at $23, they're just I would have had to take two things off, and 2 bigger things. Like the cheap games on my list I think are really good and wouldn't have covered Samba de Amigo. Time Stalkers at $20, like I could have taken, because I had an extra $5 today apparently, so I could have taken House of the Dead 2 off and put Time Stalkers on, but I think House of the Dead 2 is better. Time Stalker's still really great though.
What was another one? Fucking Elemental Gimmick Gear.
Yeah, Egg.
I thought about that for a minute, and then I saw that it was expensive. I was like, are you kidding me with this shit? This game's expensive? Like, nobody wanted this game when it came out. And me and my friend Chris would play it played it at work, and we're like, this is pretty good.
Not bad.
This isn't bad. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good.
It's okay. I also had Toy Commander, just missed the cut on my list. If I could have found it, another $5 somewhere or whatever. I would have thrown that on there. The one that really, really sucks, it's just so goddamn expensive. I fucking love, and I think the GameCube version might be a little bit better.
Skies of Arcadia.
Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah, I knew
that's
it.
The
I
one.
knew it.
But $94, like,
Yeah.
it's not that good.
Nope.
Like, it's a good game. I don't think it's $94 good. You know, I could have given you fucking Skies of Arcadia and like Sega Bass Fishing. Like, you could have those two. You know, which isn't the worst list in the world, but man, and Power Stone's in the 60s. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is so good, but $95, like, man.
Yeah,
Dreamcast is a weird one. It's a weird one. All right, what do we got for listeners?
All right, let's do the listeners.
We'll let you go to bed.
Holy crud, it's 11:40. All right.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I am so happy that we have moved recording to Friday nights, but there are going to be, I don't know when, but we're going to sit here and be like, oh my God, it's 2:00 in the morning. Shit.
All right, let's do this. Rumblemans, we have our web browser for $2. Jet Grind Radio, that's another good one. $37. Virtua
That's
Tennis,
expensive.
Phantasy Star Online. The reason I didn't go with I didn't even consider PSO, and one of the things that took Choo Choo Rocket off my list is I don't think you can play them online anymore.
I
Like,
mean,
not that
that's
Choo Choo Rocket-
that's fair.
Choo Choo Rocket has a lot of great single player, no doubt. But PSO wasn't even consideration because, like, well, does it even function anymore? But regardless, NHL 2K2, Soul Calibur, and Crazy Taxi. It's a good list. Like it.
Good list.
Let's see. Got a bunch of conversation and Genix. This was hard, but here's what I got. It's got a lot of the same great stuff as Rumblemans. Crazy Taxi, Blitz 2000, that's a good call. Blitz is fun. PSO version 2, Revolt, that's a cool one. I liked Revolt.
That's cool.
Sega Bass Fishing, Shenmue, Soul Calibur, and Virtua Tennis. Good list.
Good list.
Keep scrolling. All right, Duroc Pig, what do you got for us? Duroc Pig went with NFL 2K1, Virtua Tennis, Crazy Taxi, Soul Calibur, Shenmue, and Jet Grind Radio. He says it kills me that Capcom vs. SNK is so expensive. Yeah, but getting Jet Grind Radio on there makes it a bit easier to swallow. That's a good call. Like, man, Jet Grind Radio is so good.
It is really fun. And again, very Dreamcast.
Yeah, $37 is a lot, but I almost wonder if taking a few things off of my list to get that one on there would have been better. Like, could I get to $37? Sega Bass is only $5, Ready to Rumble's $11, NFL 2K is only $3. Yeah, I don't think I can get to that. Although you know what? 11, 16, 17, 19.
Carry the 12. Divide by your mom.
That gets me up to 33. Yeah, if I throw Space Channel 5 in there, because I love Space Channel 5, but like Jet Grind Radio, that's more game.
I feel like that, even though they're very, very different. I do feel like that is a 6 and 1, half dozen in the other kind of thing, though.
But then losing Sega Bass, like, I don't think I can.
I don't think you can.
Yeah.
Which is what a weird fucking thing to say.
Right? Losing Sega Bass Fishing for all of $5. It's just such a good value.
It's unacceptable.
And if anything, like, to take Crazy Taxi off, but like, again, am I going to sacrificing Space Channel 5 and Crazy Taxi still isn't enough to get me to Jet Grind Radio. It's just too expensive.
Not worth it.
Yeah, it's just not. All right, Chronodin's got...
In my opinion.
Let's see, what is this? I love my Dreamcast, and it is easily a top 5 system for me. Also, Jet Grind Radio definitely needs a Waveback episode. Is there a Patreon tier to request that? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and throw that on the list. We already have the next episode picked, but I think we should just go ahead and make that our next episode. So, there you go. There's your Duroc Pig. I'll do... I'm going to write that down. The Jet Grind Radio will be next as a request.
When are we going to do that? Or when are you going to do that?
That's way back. I'll do that for the November episode. October is going to be, we just recorded Gimmick, so October is going to be Matt's pick, which was Mario Kart 64, and then I'll make my next pick Jet Grind Radio. Although November, November's good. December we do a winter special.
There you go. That works.
Grind Radio. Wave back. Gotta throw that in my schedule before I forget. All right, let's see who else we got. Chronodin hit us with Crazy Taxi Grandia 2 for $27.97. That's beefy, but I respect
That's somebody who loves Grandia 2.
Yeah,
that's what that is. I'm not gonna argue with it. It's good.
NBA 2K, NFL 2K1, NHL 2K, PSO2 from Shenmue, and Soul Calibur. It's a good list. Says list I'm pretty happy with. Kind of kills me not getting Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on there, but $112, nope. Or Power Stone 1 or 2, both of those are also pretty expensive. But I got Shenmue on there, so that makes me happy. And I also have some of those sports games that are any good, like NBA 2K, but I remember liking NFL 2K, and they were cheap, so there you go.
There you go.
Let's see. Does anybody else have a list, or is this all conversation? $20 CD burner, $20 blank CDs, $60 of internet access. There you go.
And you've got all of it. That was mentioned earlier in the Discord of like, it's hard to remember that the Dreamcast is not region free because it's the most easily hackable, quote unquote. You see what I'm doing with my fingers there because he's not an actual magician. It's the most, like, it's the easiest system to be like, I'm just going to swap this thing out. Now I've got it all.
All right, we got one last one. That's from Reformat, and he also broke it all down for us. So here we go. Reformat says, the Dreamcast library isn't huge, but it has a lot of quality games. Unfortunately, most of them are stupid expensive. This is just a starter kit, though, so get those pricey gems like Power Stone, Skies of Arcadia, Jet Grind Radio, and Seaman later. But even on the cheap end, you're going to end up with some top-tier games. Tennis 2K2. The Dreamcast has a well-earned reputation for having some of the best sports games ever, and Tennis 2K2 may well be the best tennis game ever made. Sure, it was later released for PS2, and that port can be found for $2.50 cheaper, but the PS2 only has 2 controller ports. Trust me, invite 3 friends over, hand each of them a controller, and fire up this Dreamcast Classic. You'll be guaranteed a good time. Virtua Tennis 1 had 4-player, right?
Yeah, I only ever played it 2, but I want to say yes.
All right. I mean, it's $8.69. I can't afford it anyway, but still, solid pick. 1177. Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future. It's Echo the Dolphin in 3D with special guest voice Tom frickin' Baker and a story written by acclaimed science fiction author David Brin, and it's less than $12. What are you, stupid? Buy this game. Armada. It's a top-down space shooter. It's an RPG. It's a combination top-down space shooter and RPG. I forgot that game even existed. Somehow this game seems to have fallen between the cracks of history, and that's a damn shame. Look at that. I totally forgot it existed. It's hard to overstate just how cool this game is. The core gameplay is basically asteroids with extra bells and whistles, but it's also like a JRPG, with space being the overworld and planets, space stations, nebula, etc., making up the equivalent towns and dungeons. You and up to 3 other people fly around in a ship revenge-killing aliens who long ago destroyed Earth, racking up XP and credits, the game's currency, which you use to level up your ship and buy upgrades for it respectively. Plus, you can save your character to the VMU, so if you go to a friend's place and play, you can still use the same character you've been working on at home. This game is an absolute gem, and at $13 you'd be crazy to pass it up. That is a very interesting pick. I totally forgot this game existed, and I played it for like 5 minutes at my store, and it didn't click with me. I was like, oh, so it's like asteroids. I didn't get that there was more to the game than that. I don't know that I've ever spent any time with it. I remember getting it. I remember seeing the box. I remember us plugging it in. Me and Chris put it into our GX TV with the Dreamcast hooked up. And it was like, oh, this is neat. I might pick this up someday. And then I never did. He's got Choo Choo Rocket. First, this game is insanely fun. Just ridiculously fun. It's funny if you're playing it by yourself, and it's funny if you invite some friends over to play with. But the real kicker, you can also play it online. Yes, even today. Oh, really? Fans have set up private servers that replace the now defunct Dream Arena gaming service that Sega used to have, allowing you to play this online. How freaking cool is that? Pretty freaking cool. I agree. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver.
Rad.
Yep, I mentioned Soul Reaver. Look, it's Soul Reaver. You already know this is an awesome game, right? Right. It's $20. Just get it already. And finally, and I like this pick. I actually considered this one, but I remember scrolling past it, looking at the list of Dreamcast games, and thinking, like, I thought this was just too expensive because it didn't click with me as much as I wanted it to. And that's Super Magnetic Neo.
Okay.
This is a cool concept for a 3D platformer. You play a little dude who is magnetic, and you can change the polarity to attract or repel enemies or objects. The controls aren't as tight, but once you get used to them, you'll be glad you picked this one up. See, I never was able to get used to the controls. I really liked the concept of this game, though. I just didn't feel like I had a lot of fun with it in execution. That's why I didn't really consider it for a list, especially at $27.50. It was like... Yeah, we're doing the whole rounding up and down rules, so that makes it 28. Like it was just too much for that. But that is a very respectable list to all of you. Thanks to everyone for pitching in. And there we go. It's 11:50. I want to get off of this show before tomorrow, so it's time. It's time to wrap this up.
No, Chris, I have so much more to talk about. I have at least 10 minutes worth of content I can make up right now.
I'm sure you can, but you'll be talking to yourself. That is our show, everybody. Thanks for listening. Join us again next week when Dan and I will indeed be talking to Aaron Hamill, co-founder of Ship to Shore Phono Company. They've been releasing some awesome video game soundtracks on vinyl, and they were recently announced to be behind the upcoming Gimmick, Euphoria, and Journey to Silius Sunsoft releases. And I cannot wait to pester him for 2 solid hours with requests to get the original NES Blaster Master soundtrack on vinyl. Seriously, I'm going to ask him about that, but I'm very curious to hear what goes into getting these licenses to get the games, because this is the company that did Rocket Knight Adventures and Sparkster a while back, so they've worked with Konami. Now they have a deal with Sunsoft. I'm very interested to see how this goes. So, yeah. We're on most social media platforms, and if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep this show running week after week, and all of our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ollie. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making this show listenable for all you folks. We'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That is it, everybody. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.